Now you said playing up in tournaments as far as like playing in the more difficult tournaments with the team, and you'd rather get kind of beat up in that than to go down, play down and win everything. Would you have that same philosophy for playing up in age group?
No. So, and that's actually a great question because it's a common question is, and I think it depends on the age. So if you're a 12-year-old and you're a really good 12-year-old and you're like, I'm so good, I'm going to go play 16U. Or that's probably, let's say if you're a 13-year-old and you're going to go play 16U. I don't think, unless you're a stud, I don't think that's necessary because for females, like that's a big jump. Girls have gone through puberty. You're just like in a different mindset with light, everything. Yeah. So I think like you could maybe be playing, if you're a 13-year-old, you can be playing in like a second year 14U team. 12, I think 10 and 12, it's not a huge jump because again, kids are kind of like the same. Yeah. But I mean, do you think the reason why it's a big jump, do you think they could lose their confidence by jumping up that high? Is that why? Yes. Yeah. And I've seen it with a girl that, I work with a couple where really, really good. And I think that time they were 12, they were playing like 16, almost like 16U tournaments. Wow. And it's just, and they're good, but then they're not doing great. So then, it just kills your confidence, especially at that age. Yeah. So I think it obviously depends on the athlete because you do have some absolute studs who are maybe 14 and they can be playing 18U. Right. That's fine. Right. But it's like the younger girls who just really have no business playing up. Even though you might think it's helping, I think it's probably hurting more than anything. Yeah. Yeah. I used to, that was the same. I had the same stance too. So for that one kid though, those couple kids that can do it, what are some factors that could that your kid is that person that can play up? Is there anything that you could kind of point to that your kid is able to handle going up the level? Is it just purely talent? Is it just I
a
think
purely
talent
thing?
Because I feel like if I say their swing is this, and it's like, oh, well, my daughter has that, So.
well, because that was kind of my point. I think most parents, I shouldn't say all, but or even most maybe, but a lot of parents feel like their kid is the exception. Yeah. Even when I'm having this conversation with parents about maybe just playing their age and having some success so their confidence can build, so they can move up. They feel like their kid is that one person that can play up. Yeah. Because they feel like they're that good.
In the end, though, you just have to think: is it necessary? Like, let's say they're 13, do they have to be playing 16U? They're not getting recruited at 13. They're not. Yeah. So let them develop now. Find a team that's really, really good for, let's say, 14U, and then that they excel on and they learn. But you just got to think is it necessary for her to be playing with such older?
If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content valuable.